Welcome back to the channel, Panda Pals. Let's get on with part 2 of part 1 of the tell-all for season 8 of Before the 90 Days. Let's start with Emma and Ziad.
Why do you think she has so much trouble finding love?
Emma, she cares only about herself. It's a mistake to be with a girl like her.
Ziad is like, I knew that Emma was the shittiest person alive from the moment I saw her at the airport. Which honestly, I do believe, because when he picked her up, he did not look like he wanted to be there at all. But also, sir, if you knew that she was trash from the very beginning, why did you tell her you were thinking about marrying her multiple times and then banging her multiple times? Like, I don't know, something smells super fishy.
I found things out about you that doesn't make you seem like you're Mr. Perfect. You had sex with a girl from Britain before I came to Morocco.
Apparently, a girl slid into Emma's DMs and she was like, heads up, sweetie, your man's was in me right before he was in you.
Were you sexually involved with any other woman right before Emma got there?
As I say, I didn't make something wrong.
And Ziad, instead of saying, she is a liar, liar, pants on fire, he just says, I don't have to prove myself to anyone.
Did you anyone else?
She can't say anything she wants.
He has nothing to say about it.
Me, I didn't make something wrong.
Give us a direct answer.
So Ziad does end up denying the cheating, and then he calls Emma a disrespectful demon. And then everybody at that tell-all is like, disrespectful? Kind of like how you abandoned her in the desert in a country she knows nothing about? And listen, I'm sorry, but that was kind of fucked up, okay? I mean, this girl has zero survival skills. I don't even think she would make it out of a fully stocked grocery store if you locked her in there for 24 hours.
I told you one thing about my past, and you used that as a reason to leave me alone in the desert.
Because he's not a man.
You know, Rick, maybe we shut up and not talk about what it means to be a man, because you are severely underqualified. Now, Emma's twin Izzy comes out on stage, and she's like, I honestly thought Ziad was a nice guy, but now that I get to see the way in which he talks to her, wow, what a colossal bag of dicks. Small ones.
Do you think Emma was in love with Ziad?
No, I think she was more in love with the idea of being engaged.
Oh, 1000%. Dude, Izzy straight up got all of the oxygen when these two were in the womb. Anyway, Izzy goes on to say that she really didn't think that the two of them were serious because Emma was hooking up with other people while she was with Ziad.
She was hooking up with other people. I don't think it was that serious.
Are you proud to be hooked up with everyone?
I don't know, Ziad. Are you? So Emma does not care that she hooked up with people while she was Ziad, because the only reason she hooked up with other people was she found out Ziad was hooking up with other people. So I guess she thinks that it was justified.
Why are you mad at the text messages if you're cheating on him too?
When I found out about the other girls, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my thing.
And I guess she doesn't see what she did as cheating because this was an eye for an eye situation, which, girly, that is not how that works. And then she says Ziad's is teensy weensy, which honestly she did not have to tell anybody because we could all tell from his tiny energy.
It was teeny tiny.
She can't say, it's like my finger. I don't care about her opinion.
Now Ziad is like, I never had sex with a woman, y'all are crazy. And then he follows that up with, and even if I did bang her, I would never tell you. So what are we doing here?
Everything about Emma is fake. Her personality is so fake. How she speaks, she's fake. Everything about her, she's fake.
I'm sorry, Pot said what?
And you're a fake Muslim.
What the fuck, Rick? I'm so sorry. That just kind of came out of nowhere. I wouldn't say that Ziad is a fake Muslim. I would say that he is a Muslim who is very selective about what aspects of his religion he chooses to observe. Is that the same thing?
But you are a fake father.
You piece of I'm a real father, fool. I'm more father than you will ever be, ever in your life.
Elise is like, you know, you really should have just said sorry. And I guess Ziad doesn't think that people see him as enough of an asshole, so he like really had to drive that point home.
Saying sorry, you would have looked much better and a lot of people would have liked you.
Can you ask you are a girl?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I did.
Wow.
Josh stands up for his girl, albeit he did it looking super cracked out, but he did it. Then everybody goes on break, and Laura is like, oh my god, how did Ziad ever think Emma was in his league? And sweetie, it's because she was. And then Elise is like, Emma is a very sweet girl, but she randomly DM'd me to tell me that her and Rob had been hooking up for the past year. Yes, that Rob. I'm so sorry. Yes, that Rob. And Elise is like, I do not know why she brought that up to me, because who the f even is he? We get back on stage, and then we get to move on to Javon and Anna. Now, Javon is currently in the Philippines. He says he's gonna stay there for the foreseeable future.
You decided to put any plans to bring Anna to the U.S. on hold. Why is that?
Because Anna needs me,
Yeah.
and Anna's my home. Wherever she's at, I'm gonna be at.
We learn that he quit his job, and I'm a little shocked that nobody has zero follow-up questions. Like, is he working remotely? Did he find a job in the Philippines? Is Anna picking up his poopy undies after working her full-time job as the sole breadwinner? Like, so I need to know. Anyway, we get to revisit the lovely time when Anna was like, he was so sweet until he entered the manosphere. And then we get to hear Javon say in an interview that he basically picked an Asian woman specifically because he was under the impression that they were all submissive.
Men are not getting a certain thing in their own country, so they fly to parts of Asia where women are a little bit more submissive. I feel like I was a little tricked because those women are supposed to be more traditional.
Oh, okay. I am about to go on a rant. If you do not want to see me pissed the f off, feel free to skip. That is so fucking disgusting. Okay, first of all, how fucking embarrassing that you said that shit with your whole fucking chest, okay? Where you couldn't get a human doll in the US because they expect things like reciprocity in a relationship, and all you want to do is apparently fart and shit into their mouth all day and not hear a single fucking complaint. So what, you decided to go to a country where you thought the women didn't want things like respect? The belief that all Asian women are submissive is so wild to me because, buddy, if we were naturally submissive, we would have submitted by now. And specifically talking about the Western belief that all Asian women are submissive was manufactured through literal centuries of imperialism and occupation, okay? Women being portrayed by men as obedient to basically justify their exploitation. And then that gets turned into a fantasy, into a fetish, and then it's brought back to be regurgitated and recycled through Western media to portray Asian women as submissive and hypersexual until enough time goes by and we get to have guys like you who think that is a part of our DNA and not something born out of exploitation. Anyway, after Javon spews all of that fucking garbage, the man keeps on going. He's like, you know, the first time I met Anna, she was the submissive, obedient, delicate chrysanthemum flower that I expected her to be. Not his exact words, but like, ugh, we all know that's what he meant.
She showed the feminine side of her earlier on in our relationship. After we got married, it changed, and by that time, I was already stuck with her.
First of all, what an awful thought to have. But then to say it out loud in front of a camera for millions of people to see? That is a choice. It's not the decision I would have made, but then again, my mother didn't drop me off the tallest building on earth when I was born.
If she would have started demonstrating those behaviors earlier on, we probably never would have gotten married.
You said you felt stuck with her. Do you still feel that way?
Javon does specify that he didn't actually feel that way and he just said those things out of frustration, but let's be honest, nobody believes him, okay? He may not feel that way anymore, but he definitely felt that way when he said it.
I've never changed. I am still sweet. But when he was trying to practice his masculinity stuff, I can see some energy that I don't like. I definitely did not trick him.
Then Javon is like, I'm not seeking out toxic, misogynistic crap, okay? I am just looking for relationship building content to make us stronger as a couple. But then he goes and listens to Andrew Tate, so
I'm not trying to battle with Anna, but I was like, how can you be a captain of a ship if the shipmates don't listen to you?
You should probably stop listening to podcasts and start listening to Anna. You are partners on that ship. You're not owning the ship.
God, I can't believe I'm saying this, but BeerCon is right. And then Javon is like, I am not trying to tell Anna what to do, even though he said that if he tells her to do something, she should just do it.
I don't want to rule my wife.
You literally said, if I tell you to do something, do it.
It's not that I'm trying to boss you around. I'm trying to tell you something that can also help our marriage. I believe men and women need to walk beside each other.
Yes, but you think that the man should be the only one who holds the map. Anyway, Javon does say that he's trying to fix the relationship, and that is why he is in the Philippines, and they are even starting couples therapy. So, that is very good news, and I wish them the best of luck. They take a break, and then Emma decides to crawl up Forrest's butthole, and she's just like, oh my god, you're so nice, you're so great. Sheena is like the only person that won in this whole thing.
Forrest, why are you so sweet? I think I'm in love with you. Do you love me?
Yeah.
You do? How much?
Friendship level.
And I do get that she's being like playfully flirty, but it is wildly uncomfortable to watch Forrest be wildly uncomfortable.
I honestly feel like Forrest would be down. I feel like if I showed up to Forrest's bedroom, like in a sexy lingerie outfit, like he wouldn't say no.
Now, we get back on stage, we pivot to Lisa and Daniel, and I'm honestly not gonna go that deep into them because we'll probably get more of them in part 2. Daniel says that he doesn't have anyone in his contacts labeled my wife, and he's like, I just have friends in there, okay? Like, I don't know, Lisa, maybe you don't get it because you don't have any of those.
I don't think I have such a name. I'm not hiding anything. All I have is friends.
Stop lying.
Maybe you don't have, or maybe you don't keep friends. I keep friends.
Anyway, they broke up, and then Daniel was able to somehow gaslight his way back into her heart. And then Lisa broke up with him again a month later because apparently Daniel started accusing her of cheating on him.
Daniel has been accusing me of being with women, being with men.
I am not there. How do I believe you?
You don't have to believe me. I don't give a if you believe me or not.
And then Daniel is like, you know, our relationship is a lot more complicated than just simply being broken up because we are married, okay? She is my wife. And that kind of shocked me, but no, they are not legally married. There is no paperwork. After the cleansing that happened, Daniel apparently told her that the cleansing they just had was their wedding.
Lisa is married.
I am not legally married to you.
She's my wife.
I really don't care what you say. I am not with you. I was tricked. We went for a cleansing, and he said that was a wedding.
Faith comes out on stage. Girly is pissed.
There was no traditional wedding. There was no way this man would ever be family to me.
And Daniel is like, girly, you and I, we have different cultures. So yeah, in my culture, we are family, suck it up. And apparently the cleansing was not only a marriage, it was also a cursing.
Daniel said, I am cursed, that this priest had told us that if I were to ever go outside of this marriage, Daniel or I would be very sick and one of us would die.
I'm not gonna lie, I would risk it. I really would, because either way it goes, it ends up with me not having to deal with him anymore. But Lisa is taking this whole cursing thing super seriously because as soon as she learned about it, she started to get sick a lot and she even found herself in the hospital on her deathbed.
Daniel, for the longest time, knew things that he shouldn't have known about me. I do get sick quite often. I ended up in the hospital and almost died, and I believe it's because of the curse.
Apparently, while she was dying, Daniel explicitly told her that she was not allowed to tell Faith that she was bleeding out at the hospital.
She calls me saying, Daniel told me I'm not allowed to tell you this. And she was dying.
I was dying, and Faith wasn't allowed to know.
Now, I don't believe in the whole cursing thing because I think it's weird that she only started getting sick after she thought it was a cursing. You know, that's weird timing. Anyway, whew, that is all that I got, okay? That was not awful. I mean, yeah, it pissed me off at points, but no one was truly insufferable, you know? And I am gonna take that as a gift. Ziad sucks, but so does Emma. Javon sucks, but honestly, I really do hope that being in the Philippines and getting therapy helps him suck less. Now, next week, we are gonna get to learn who Trisha's baby daddy is. We are going to meet the love of Lisa's life and biggest threat to her traditional marriage. And then I guess we're gonna have to suck it up and learn about sticking a Viva, even though I really don't care. That is all I have for you for this one. I hope you enjoyed. If you are not subscribed to the channel yet, please do your girl a solid, subscribe to this channel, give this video a big thumbs up, and let me know down in the comments what you thought of part 1. And with that, I will see you in part 2. Bye!